What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
What kind of ignorant shit is that?
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
You idiot, you fool!
Hey, dummy!
This is the Ignorance is Blessed podcast.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Hey idiots, welcome back to Ignorance is Blessed, the podcast that attempts to overcome ignorance, mostly by asking ignorant questions with me, JMS, Jessica Michelle Singleton, if you are long-winded. I'm a comedian and I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know anything, that's why we're here. If you are new, first of all, welcome. Second of all, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and give me a rating and a review on iTunes. It helps. Thank you to everyone who has already done that all around the world. You guys are amazing. I'm so thankful for you. It helps me feel good, and it also helps the podcast show up a little bit better in the algorithm when people are searching for new things to listen to, and so more people can learn answers to their ignorant questions. Shout out to my best idiots forever, Jean and Kathy. That's from Patreon. If you want to support me a little bit more than just a review, you can go over to patreon.com/ignoranceisblessed and become a member of my Patreon for just $1 a month. You can get bonus episodes. Sorry, my brain's like working slow. I went out for a party last night and I feel like I keep having these pauses, which, why am I apologizing? I talk so fast that they're probably needed. Anyway, for as little as $1 a month, yada, yada, yada. You get bonus episodes all the way up to $50 a month for cool merch and cool other stuff. $10 a month gets you postcards. Blah, blah, blah. I would love to have you. I'm always welcome to more of you because it helps support me. And it's cool. I've befriended some awesome people through Patreon, and I'm very grateful for you. There's also a Facebook group if you want to be more involved, but right now, giving money is not within your means. Head on over to Facebook and type in ignorance is #blessed idiots. We get into discussions over there about life, guests, politics, random just silly gifs and photos get posted. It's a safe space. It's a safe space for unsafe questions, to get in conversations about things that, maybe you have a different viewpoint. It's not for fighting, but it is, differing opinions are welcome, so we can discuss and see how things are from other people's situated position in the world. So head on over there. If you want to see me live, head over to jmscomedy.com/shows to get a list of all my upcoming shows. If you are listening to this when it drops and you happen to be in Los Angeles, come see me at the Improv tomorrow. I will be at the Hollywood Improv Lab on an awesome lineup at 10 p.m. And you can check the Comedy Store Tuesday afternoon, their website, to see where I'm at in those lineups. And next week, I am coming to Reno, Nevada. I'll be at the Pioneer Underground, March 5th through the 7th. I am bringing my friend and very recent guest of the show, Samantha Hale, who, by the way, her album is just dropped, and it went to fucking #1. So any of you who pre-ordered that, who got that album, thank you for making that happen. I'm not saying you guys made it happen. Thank you for being part of that excitement, and I hope you're enjoying the album. It's very funny. I have it myself. I've only listened to a couple tracks. I'm excited to sit down and have a full, let me just enjoy this motherfucking comedy session. If you haven't gotten it yet, check that out. It's called I'm Only Happy When It's Raining Men, which is it's just Samantha Hale in a nutshell. And if you are a Houston listener, I will be at Skankfest March 27th through the 29th. So they have a couple day passes still available. I think one day is sold out, but head over and get those. That's going to be a crazy time. They're a little bit pricey, but it is a fucking amazing. It's like Coachella for comedy on crack. I don't mean that literally, but also, I mean maybe. My God, what a crowd that festival draws. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. And I will see all the skanks that have crossed over to listen to me there. Let's get to our guest. My guest this week is Adrienne Airhart, at Adrienne on Twitter and Instagram. She is a comedian and just an awesome lady. We talk about a lot of things. We talk about being in love and going through a divorce and cannabis. So which are those things related? Keep listening. I don't know. You'll find out. Does cannabis help you cope with a divorce? I mean, everyone copes differently. But so we run the gamut. It was a cool conversation, just very real. She's an interesting and very smart person, so it was fun to get to sit down and pick her brain apart. So I don't know. Nothing else to say. Enjoy this episode with the incredible Adrienne Airhart. Hey idiots, welcome back to Ignorance is Blessed. It's me. I almost gave like the full intro that I will have already given in the other intro. I am here with my dear friend, hilarious comedian, Adrienne Airhart. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
I mean, gosh, where do we even begin?
I don't even know, dude.
There's just so much. God, I like hadn't seen you in a while, and then now you're fucking back, hard in it.
Yeah.
It's hard in you.
It's hard in me.
Okay, well, let's see. We've known each other for like distantly for a few years, just through the comedy scene, and
6 or 7.
yeah. And you are, I feel like, just back really grinding at it hard. And is that because of
Because of anything?
anything?
Of
Possibly
my
like,
divorce
just
that I'm
your
going through?
divorce that happened. It's amazing what. I mean, the things that a regular breakup have done for me with my comedy and creativity, a divorce has to be next level.
It's next level, for sure.
Which I guess is the silver lining.
Yeah. I mean, for a minute there, I did not think I was going to make it.
Just like in general, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that pain.
I'm going to die. I'm going to die from this pain. Like, literally, I was like, I get why people say they died from heartbreak.
Yes, broken heart like syndrome. 100%. I swear to God, the one of the last breakups I went through, I was like, oh, shit. Like, I think God, I would love to interview like a cardiologist about that. Or it's just so
legit.
interesting. And when you're not in it, and maybe for me, and maybe I'm just a dick, but like it's easy to forget how bad it hurts when you're trying to comfort someone. Like, yeah, breakups suck, but you'll get through it. And then it happens to you and you're like, I just remember there were several friends that I was like, I'm so sorry that I wasn't there for you more.
Yep.
Because this hurts really bad.
Like when you have to pee really badly and like no one understands your urgency and the pain that you're in.
Yeah.
And then like once you've peed, you forget about it immediately. And then someone else is telling you how badly they have to pee. And
you're
you're
like,
like,
suck
all
it
right,
up.
just hold on. It's 5 minutes.
Relax. You'll be
And you
fine.
forget how much pain you were in when you were holding it. So I mean, that's like a stupid metaphor, but that's kind of what it feels like. And I've comforted many people over the years, over my 8-year relationship with him.
Wow.
Over their breakups and everything. So it was it was rough.
Yeah. Are you still, is it final? Are you done?
We submitted our forms and then it got rejected. And then he emailed me that he resubmitted.
They can reject it?
We only email now. Very
So cold.
tersely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I cut him.
To whom it may concern.
Exactly. And he was like, I resubmitted the forms. And I just answered back, thank fucking God.
Oh my God, I
I
love you.
want this over
Get
so
it
badly.
done.
So I can get married again. I'm kidding.
Oh my God, Adrienne, no, relax.
I just keep getting married.
Is that on the horizon?
No. Marriage?
Not coming up, but like, would you ever, at this point, do you go like, I think in the future I found the right person, I'd still do it? Or are you like, fuck marriage, I'm done?
I think if I started a family with someone, we would do the legal marriage thing for the benefit of the family.
Oh, so everyone's covered by
insurance and like
death and
yeah, and so like the kids have probably honestly my last name because it's dope. Like, wouldn't you want Airhart kids?
Earhart's a great last name.
Yeah, I probably would.
Unless they want to be pilots, and then I feel like, oh boy.
By that
daunting.
time, nobody will know who Amelia Earhart is.
That's true.
Because the earth will be burned to a crisp and there will be 10 of us left.
And there won't be enough like oxygen to even fly planes probably. It'll just be zombies. Do you want kids?
I think I do.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I did. I got married promising that we wouldn't have kids. He's 5 years younger and he was like, I don't want them ever, much less not right now. And I was like, all right, agreed.
Wow, it's crazy that like you think you don't want kids, but like you're trying to spread your seed into everyone. That's
yeah.
What a weird dichotomy.
I love when someone will send me a screenshot, not anymore because I've chastised everyone about comments he's made because people come, he's an influencer and a DJ and people comment on his shit like what happened with you and Adrienne or did you guys break up or whatever. And he commented once our relationship ran its course and I so badly wanted to jump in there and be like, do you mean you ran your dick through Hollywood?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean by that?
Fucking
That's
dick.
how its course was, your dick
Yeah.
through Instagram thoughts in Hollywood.
Fucking God, the level of petty that I mean, I would have loved that.
I blocked him, so I didn't see any of these things. And anyone who sent me a screenshot, I would say, thank you so much for whatever it is you think you're doing for me, but please, I don't want to know anything about him.
Well, I don't know why people do that shit. Did you hear that he's dating so-and-so? Did you hear he got engaged? It's like, I think it's a fair thing to say across the board. Your friend does not want to hear how their ex is doing. Mm-mm. Even in an amicable breakup. I don't know what the logic is that people go, I better tell them. I've caught myself stopping from doing that a couple times with people going, oh my God, did you see? And it's like, they don't need to do that. Good for you for blocking too. I feel like with entertainment, people feel weird. Maybe it's not entertainment. Maybe it's just in general the culture of social media. People get a little in their head about, oh, should I unfriend? Should I block? Should I unfollow?
Block. Everyone in his circle, everyone in his family, everyone in his extended family, everyone is blocked. He doesn't pop up in my shit ever.
You gotta like just protect yourself. Just anyone who vapes, you can't. Oops. Yeah, I mean, you have to protect yourself. Yeah. It's survival at that point, especially if you're brokenhearted.
Yeah.
My God. Oh, I interrupted your child discussion.
Oh.
So we did a like egg freezing. Was that?
I did egg freezing in November.
Was that already part of the plan before this all?
No.
Before it fell apart, or were you like, fuck you?
I was like, I'm not having kids because I married him. And anytime my mom brought it up, I was like, I agreed. I'm not going to renege on an agreement that I made with him. And
even though you wanted kids?
I didn't know if I did. I still don't know if I do.
Yeah.
I have had a lot of violence in my life, and I'm very worried about the kind of mother I'll be.
God, I can relate to you.
And like, I'm in a domestic violence support group, and like most of the women in there are moms, and they talk about how hard it is not to perpetuate the cycle. Because
your instinct, you learn what you know. Mm-hmm. So even though logically any of us can go, well, the right thing to do is to not beat your kid. Mm-hmm. When you're angry at something someone has done and all you learned was that anger is enacted out through physical or emotional, verbal violence. Great podcast. Roast battle. Yeah, no, it's like going against your learned instincts, which is, I worry about that. I worry that I didn't have like a good example of how to mother and that I would do the same thing. And I don't think I want kids. And now I'm dating someone who is like, well, yeah, eventually I do want kids. And that's a weird. Oh, so your eggs, you were like, fuck this. I'm freezing them just in case.
Mm-hmm. My mom was pushing me hard.
Yeah.
And she was like, you're 30 years old. It's time to like, just get it done.
I love you.
Get it in there. Get those eggs frozen. And I did it. I shot myself in the stomach every day for.
How hard was that?
The first one was intense because I didn't know how to do it. And I just hurt myself a few times. And then I Googled a video, and then it wasn't so hard after that.
Wow. How many shots did you have to do?
Dozens.
Like how long is that process?
Like 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay.
I started right after a period.
Okay. So as soon as your period ends.
Yeah.
Heavy on the injections.
Yep.
And that's what, like upping your eggs? What is that doing? Do you know?
It makes your eggs grow big and your ovaries grow big.
Oh.
And it stops, and it builds up the lining in your uterus and stops you from dropping all that shit. Wow. And then you take a trigger shot. My trigger shot didn't work. So I did my trigger shot at home. Then I came at fucking 6 a.m. to go get my procedure. And they tested my urine, and they were like, you don't have any of this whatever hormone that you need. So the trigger didn't go through. So I had to go that night, go to my doctor's house. I made a house call to my doctor.
Jesus.
She shot me in the ass because evidently muscular, it's more likely to not be absorbed.
Oh.
I was like, so my body's just so strong, I just absorbed it. She was like, yeah, so that's
a good way to look at it. Yeah, I would say the same thing.
And then it worked the next time. So, and then I got an IUD put in at the same time because I don't want to have.
At the same time or like right after?
She extracted the eggs and stuck an IUD in.
Oh, okay.
While I was under. Because I know IUDs are really painful to put in.
So you're like, just get it all done.
Just do it while I'm under. Yeah. And it hurts. IUD still hurts. But now I'm not going to have like a whoops baby. And, I feel like I have complete control over my destiny now.
You think it's worth putting your body in pain? I get very weird about birth control.
Yeah.
Wow.
I am a very sexual person.
Yes.
And I'm dating someone who's also very sexual. And I don't want to worry.
But that doesn't hurt like during sex?
During sex, no.
No. It's just in life.
Sometimes after if we go hard.
Too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
But it's worth the pain. Honestly, like that pain is worth the comfort of knowing that I'm not going to get pregnant.
Jesus. And so they extract eggs and freeze those. Mm-hmm. How many did they get?
16.
Oh shit. Is that like, what's the average? Or what do they tell you? Okay, bitch.
Yeah.
What fucking mother, Adrienne? Jesus.
Lots of eggs.
And do you have to pay like a monthly like freezer fee? How does that
Yearly.
work?
$700 a year.
700. Oh, that's not as bad as it could be.
Nope.
How about, do you mind saying how much the procedure costed? 12,000.
Mm-hmm. Fuck. My mom paid.
And are there people, God, there's people who do that and it probably doesn't take it all. And then they redo.
Right. Many people. Amy Schumer is going through IVF right now.
Doesn't she have a baby?
She has a baby.
I think that's enough.
When you're older, it's harder, to conceive.
Oh, yeah.
So I think she got 35 eggs through a couple rounds. And then, but it's different for her because now they're making them embryos before putting them back inside her.
Oh, with
trying
her.
to implant. So I've not gone through that process yet. I'm hoping in like a couple years, take the IUD out, get pregnant naturally before, it's dangerous.
The eggs are the backup plan.
Yes.
Okay. And then
if I want kids.
Is that how that works? Like once you decide to have kids, they would like implant, like they would make embryos out of those
sperm
eggs.
in it, yeah.
Oh, okay. And then put those back in you.
Mm-hmm. Multiple, so that you have a higher chance of, having them.
That's
attached.
how people end up with those.
Multiples, yeah.
You're going to end up with 8 kids. You're going to be one of those moms.
They suggest reductions if it's more than 2. And
ooh.
It's called reducing.
Reducing.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be weird too, though, because it's like, well, what if you reduce and then something happens? What if you reduce the wrong egg? I guess there's a lot more technology now. That's such a fucked up. That is such a like eugenics thing to say. That like, what if you get a bad egg?
and Sophie's Choice, looking at the screen, just being like, which one? Well, this one's the smallest one. Well, what if the smallest one was going to be Jessica?
Yeah. What if the smallest one was the smartest one, and we don't know that?
We don't know that.
Wow. This is so vain, and it goes against everything that Amy Schumer's brand stands for. I don't have no idea what she actually stands for, but like, if I was as rich as Amy Schumer, someone else would carry my kid.
Yep.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yep.
They're like, why? For what? So you can make a bad fucking maternity version of that terrible clothing line she has. What is that? Have you seen her clothing
I
line?
didn't know there was a clothing line.
She's got it's like off sacks. It's just all blue. It's supposed to be like for working women on the go, but it just looks like garbage man outfits. It's the worst.
That sentence just bummed me out. Working women on the go.
And it's like,
what does that even fucking mean? Who's not on the go? Bedridden 600-pound plus people?
Yeah,
Everyone's
I know.
on the go, whether you're working or not.
I was shocked at how it was like, it doesn't matter, but it was like someone who has no fashion knowledge designed it. Like,
to me, that says I understand my demographic.
I guess so. That you're like, we're comfortable and we don't care if we look kind of plain. I guess know your audience. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Fuck. So do you give any thought to the idea of when you'll have babies now, or are you just like, I can tuck that away, I'm done, and I can worry about that later?
I think about it. I actually had a fight with the guy I'm dating the other night because my IUD was hurting, and he was like, it's not like moved or something, right? Like, you're not going to get pregnant. And I was like, calm down.
Like, also, can we have some sympathy for me being in pain instead of immediately worrying about where your cum is going?
Mm-hmm. And I was like, it's 99% effective. There's actually like a caret sign. It means like more than 99% effective.
Yeah.
IUDs. I was like, I'm really not worried about it. And then I like gave him the silent treatment for a while. And then finally I talked to him. I was like, listen, my first husband tried to get me pregnant against my will. When he was
I had a boyfriend like that when I was trying to leave.
He was sensing me pulling away, and he would fake not coming and come inside of me.
Yeah.
And thank God I have cysts all over my ovaries and was not able to conceive.
Like, what a blessing.
And then every person since has been terrified of getting me pregnant. So I feel like I have no autonomy over my own fucking body because it's been like, you will have a baby, and then like, we are not having a baby. And it's just like, I want it to be my motherfucking choice. So I put my eggs on ice and I put an IUD in, and I will decide when that IUD comes out, and I will decide who I'm going to breed with.
Yeah. And that's good that you're like taking full control of that decision. And it's also like, hey, by the way, guy I'm dating or men that you have sex with in the future or whatever, it's like, yeah, if that's the thing you're concerned about, you need to figure out what you're doing with your dick, because like, if you're going to blow loads up here, it's as much your responsibility as mine. And so the minute you come inside someone, regardless, it's like, you've taken that risk. So,
and if I got pregnant, I keep telling everyone that I've dated, there's been a few of them.
you're like, I'm keeping it.
I've said like at 36 years old, I can't like risk.
You don't know if you'll be able to.
You know what I mean? I was like, I would keep it. And like the first guy I dated, we had a little oopsie before I had my IUD. And he ended up saying like, we're both the same age, and it wouldn't be that bad. And I was like, I looked at him and I was like, it would be that bad.
Did that make you go like, maybe I should stop saying that to people at all?
No, it made me go, I should get an IUD.
Oh, okay, you're like, I shouldn't be so careless.
Because I only sleep with one person at a time.
Yeah.
But I don't like
It's not enough room for two.
condoms.
My
Yeah.
God.
I mean, for a little while there was some overlap, you know what I mean? But like, it's exhausting to keep up with, honestly.
No.
And switching out the toothbrushes is just like, which one is the green one? Like, it's just
Whose
a
is
lot.
whose? You're having to label them.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's
That's
a
so
lot.
funny.
I had to like make a little mnemonic for like, this one is the green because you know, I don't want to give away.
Green for giant dick. G green. Never
Green
mind.
for carpenter, for the trees, because it cuts down trees.
That's
You know what I mean?
so
It was like
great.
a whole thing. I did one normie, a couple comics, a writer. So I'm figuring out like what I like, you know?
Yeah.
But what was the point of this whole fucking tirade?
I don't
when I want to
even-
have kids.
Oh, if you think about it now, or you actively think about it, or if you've tucked it away.
I
I don't know if it's possible to stop actively thinking about it at a certain age.
I've
as a
tucked it
woman.
away.
Yeah?
I don't worry every month that I will be pregnant, like
Okay.
I do with the pill when you skip one or two,
It's
or
like,
like
this is the end.
sometimes it fucks up. You know, I don't worry about that at all. And if I don't have kids, I will just live with that.
Yeah, and you're like, that's that. Whatever happens is what's gonna happen.
And
that's
I
how it's
would-
supposed to go.
I wouldn't have bred with any of the other people I was dating, but now I'm dating someone that I'm in love with, and I would have his babies. So
Yeah?
it's really good that I have an IUD because I couldn't abort his baby.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this: how long have you been out of your previous marriage?
6 months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You think this is fast? This is when the ignorant questions come in. This is what the audience is thinking. Don't take it personal. You're in love already?
Yeah.
How long does it take you to fall in love?
Usually 3 months, and that's pretty much how long it took.
I'm pretty similar to that.
Yeah.
Have you guys had that? Have you said that I love you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few days ago.
Yeah. How was that?
It was adorable.
Really?
It was actually, we had a conversation with you. the
Yeah,
day
I remember
before.
talking
And-
about just what it means to say I love you to someone.
Yeah. And if it's like too soon or whatever, and he was like, you just say it when you feel it. And I was like, yeah, that's how I feel too.
Yeah.
And then
I was like,
they-
boy, we're both just, I was like, it's fun to sit here and watch two people just pretend that they're not feeling something. This is fun. You're both lying to each other and yourselves. This is a great place for me to be.
I mean, you've seen us together and felt us like we're in love. Like,
Yeah, you're in love. It's
Yeah.
very obvious.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I can do, it's be burdened by feeling other people's emotions. No, I actually love my ability to be an empath, but it's very clear you guys are in love.
He knew a week prior because he's on Twitter, but not really. So I tweet with abandon because I never think
Yeah, you go in.
I never think he's gonna read anything. But somebody screenshotted a tweet where I was like, is it weird to be falling in love and super pissed about it?
I remember that tweet. I saw it
And-
and I was like, I wonder where they're at in this discussion.
I'm super pissed about it. I was like a week ago. It was before Valentine's Day and everything. And he said, my friend screenshotted and sent that to me. So like I already knew that you were on the same page. He was like, I was just kind of waiting for the right moment. And it was the right moment. It was like, it wasn't during sex, which I usually disregard. if
Yeah,
someone
because
says
you
it.
think it's just like heightened hormones and
Yeah. And it was
you don't
like,
love me, you're coming.
after like a long night of talking and, whatever. And he just kissed me passionately and said, I love you. And then I hid my face and I was like, no. And then he turned my face and he was like, I love you and I'm in love with you.
Oh.
And I was like, I love you too.
And
And then the next day after breakfast, I was like, hey, just checking in. Last night happened, right? And he was like, yeah, I'm absolutely madly in love with you. I was
Oh
like,
my God.
Okay, me too. Just making sure we're on the same page.
Just making sure that wasn't a dream, a nightmare even. Because why would I? I didn't say anything. Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm very happy right now.
yeah.
Who knows how long this will last, but I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Do you have a love addiction?
No.
No. Boy.
I'm never single, but my mom, who does a lot of reading on psychopathy and things that are wrong with people, she likes to diagnose me with things.
Love it.
She's looked into love and sex addiction, and she's like, yeah, you have a couple of tendencies because you date end up after. And she's like, this is going to sound so arrogant, but she's like, you're a beautiful girl.
People want to date you.
People want to date you. And she's
That's
like,
true.
you're never going to be single because people always want to date you.
Well, unless you actively wanted to be single.
And I don't.
Yeah.
I like attention.
Do you feel like, when's the last time you were single?
19.
19? Do you ever feel like there's things that maybe you haven't like had the freedom to learn about yourself?
No.
No? You feel like you have that freedom within relationships and stuff?
I feel like, yeah, I was really free in my last marriage for a
Like
long
your
time.
identity wasn't tied to being someone's
It
person.
did become that
Eventually. Okay.
because he didn't grow the way I grew, and he didn't change, and he didn't support me the way I supported him.
Ugh,
So-
men,
and
or
that
just
was,
that
like,
guy.
I noticed that immediately in the last few people that I dated, was that they wanted things from me that
They weren't willing to give.
they were willing to give, or like just crossing my boundaries, which I didn't realize I had any boundaries, and I've been working with my therapist on like deciding what those are. And
Dude, that's a fucking huge step. And also so scary that it's like, yeah, cool. What do I do about the anxiety that prevents me from verbally setting the boundary? What's the step for that?
it's a lot. But with this guy, I was just we agreed to just like start fucking as soon as like we ended up. This is a total glitch. We ended up breaking up with whoever we were dating like within 2 days. Of each other.
Coincidentally.
Yeah, coincidentally.
You don't think he saw that you were going through a divorce and he's like, I'm in?
He didn't know me.
He just shoved his girlfriend out the car and he's like, I'm on my way.
We found out who each other were as humans that exist in this plane like at the end of October.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know who he was.
Did you
before
find out who he was through your DMs?
that. No. Through my
I
roommate.
was like, did he slide in? Oh,
No.
that's true. I mean,
I was actually the first person to slide in, but it was not lascivious. Like it was just my roommate was like, he's gonna be over a lot. He's one of my best friends. You need to get to know him and you need to be comfortable with him. And I was like, okay. So I followed him.
You're like, guess I'm about to get real motherfucking comfortable.
I mean, I was dating someone and he was dating someone, so it wasn't.
it was just like, cool, here's this person who's
Yeah,
gonna be
we did like jokes back and
see
forth.
me in the kitchen sometimes
Yeah.
and I'll okay.
And then I saw him at like a birthday party of a mutual friend and I got to meet him in person. I was like, what's up, dude? Hey. And then when he came over the next time to my apartment, I already knew who he was. I was more comfortable, you know. And then I broke up with my guy and then he broke up with his like 2 days later. And then he slid right in and was like, you still dating that guy you hate? And I was like, nope. So we were just like, let's fuck.
Let's just do the thing where like we're fresh out of a relationship.
Yeah.
We need to fuck somebody.
And we both were fucking other people. And I was just like, this is all this is. So the guard was down. I didn't give a fuck what he thought. I was just like, I don't care if you hit it once and leave. Like I was
I'm just
like,
trying to get some dick
yeah,
and clear
just
my
trying to get some dick.
thoughts.
So it was chill for a while, and then like around Christmas, we just like the dynamic changed.
Oh,
And
the fucking
the holidays.
the holidays.
And then we spent New Year's Eve together, and then like
Did you kiss on at midnight on New Year's? Yeah.
we cooked. We stayed together.
Oh, you
Alone,
fucking
cooking.
dorks.
Yeah, it was adorable. So
That's very cute.
recently, I confessed, I had feelings for him like last month, and then we went over boundaries together. He pulled up an article. What
I wish you guys
boundaries
could see
are.
my face. I'm like,
I know.
Of course he pulled
I
up an
know.
article.
Because he was like, let's do this right. And it was like expectations and sex and future goal, whatever. And I wrote it on my notes app, like what his were and what mine were. And like, it was a lot of them aligned. And a
Yeah.
lot of them are things like, I startle easily. Don't make loud noises near me. That's
Yeah.
one of my boundaries.
PTSD.
Yeah.
Same.
From abuse. And then he was like, don't call me names. And I was like, all right, that's going to be hard for me because I call my friends dumb bitch all the time.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, I will rein it in for you. It's just shit like that.
Yeah. That you just
And
like established.
We did a bunch of them.
And that
it was,
doesn't seem too, what is the word I'm looking for?
like controlled and
Like type it. Yeah. Too trying to control, make it like businessy. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is.
it was done.
That doesn't
like,
ruin any of it for you?
very, with love and respect.
Okay.
And just we're both like working on ourselves and in programs and like just
Yeah.
trying to be really on the same page and
The best
respectful and
version.
communicative. And we did, like he doesn't let me stay quiet about something if something's bothering me and vice versa. Listens when I talk. He's basically what I'm saying is perfect.
This is just a philosophical devil's advocate.
Uh-huh.
Someone not letting you stay quiet about something that's bothering you, hypothetically, isn't that pushing a boundary?
If I say I don't want to talk about this,
Then it
and
would
they
be fine.
continue, yeah. But me just being like, no, I'm fine, nothing's wrong. No, that's obviously a passive like keep pushing me, and then I'll say something.
Really?
But then
Okay.
after like that was like this after sex the other night when he was like, hope you don't get pregnant or whatever, and I was like quiet as a mouse for a while, and I ended up telling him like when I'm upset I shut down. I don't yell. I don't leave.
Same.
Nothing. I shut the fuck down, and I just like buried my head in the pillow and was quiet for a while. And I was like, if that happens again, give me like a half hour. I need to just like
Reset and be with my
yeah.
emotions and
I was like,
process.
and then I'll talk to you every time. I promise. I'll never hold on to something and not tell you why I'm upset.
But I do need a minute sometimes,
Yeah.
which is fair.
Yep.
Do you feel like this relationship is helping you get better in touch with like your ability to communicate,
Yes.
your needs, your...
Yes.
That's great.
It's so fucking healthy.
Isn't it
All
weird?
the way around.
Let me ask you this. Does it ever feel boring because it's healthy?
No.
Okay.
I'm so like violently attracted to him, and he's so funny and so sweet that like I'm never bored.
Because I've dated people in the past who maybe it's obviously a different situation, but do you know about attachment issues or attachment styles?
Yes.
A lot of times people with very secure attachment, because I'm so fucked up, I perceive that as like boring, or like it sets off my, like that there are people that can just sit quietly next to you and be happy you're there, but just be doing their own thing. That's been a lot of work for me to not be like, they're bored, they're thinking they are not happy. Why aren't they?
But I say that, I vocalize that. Like,
oh yeah,
am
I do
boring
now.
You? And then he'll be like, no, I heard everything. And he'll repeat back everything. See, dating a sober guy is amazing. He'll like quote me from 9 weeks ago, verbatim.
Sometimes is it like, all right, you could remember a little less.
No, my memory is insane.
Yeah.
Like I remember every fucking thing.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have somebody who like, not quite as much, but like
is right on board with all the details. It never makes you like, okay, we don't need to like recap the earrings I had on that night.
Right. But like, he knows my birthday and my middle name and my siblings' names and, you know, my coworkers' names that I talk about and my assistant's name. Like he cares about me.
That's great.
It's very weird.
Oh my God. That's very cute.
I constantly am like looking at him like, this is a mirage. This can't be real. That's
You're
someone,
not
like
real.
This hot and this sweet and this good at, you know, putting it down. I'm very happy, and probably who knows if this will still be together when this podcast comes out.
I mean, who knows?
This dog is what.
If you guys hear anything, you probably can't. These mics are pretty good, but if you hear any scratching in the background, it's Q, the dog, who most of you probably know, trying to dig something in the carpet. But to be honest, we've had people like leave their dogs in here and go out. So, by the way, if there's any hint of smell of urine, I'm nose blind, so I have a feeling this room probably stinks.
No.
But we've cleaned the carpet, but, you know, lots of dogs.
Smells great.
Let me ask you, because sober, does he smoke weed? No. Because you're a weed smoker.
I'm a weed expert.
Do you smoke?
Occasionally.
Yeah?
I'll be smoking today. I have a massage with my friend, and he wants to get really high first. So I'm like, all right.
Dude, I'm supposed to do maybe a glass of wine, but definitely some weed pre-massage on Monday, and I'm so stoked for it. Fuck.
Yeah.
How long? So you're a weed expert. When did you get into cannabis?
Started consuming when I was 17.
Yeah.
Got in lots of trouble for it. Lots of cuffs. I'm from Florida.
Oh yeah.
Got arrested.
Not fond of it there.
8 years ago, I got arrested. And then when I moved here, I started doing like Cannabis Cup promo modeling with dabs.
Oh.
You know, one of them.
Hot girls with weed. Yeah.
Hey, come try this.
Oh my God.
And then I started working in a shop, and now I'm like one of the people that runs the shop. There's like 3 of us that like run the shop. And that's my day job. And now I'm like, I speak on panels. I travel to conferences for cannabis, and it's like a job for real.
Yeah. You're like, this is any other job, but just the product happens to be cannabis.
Yes.
Did you see yourself doing this kind of job when you were younger, or is it just something that kind of like progressed into where it's at?
I didn't think I was going to live this long.
God, relatable. I was like 30s. Yeah, hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, I'll be dead by then for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'll do something reckless and drive off a cliff.
Yeah. Do you think weed has helped prevent recklessness?
Does
weed
weed?
Psychedelics. Yeah. You what psychedelics have you done? All of them?
No, there's so many.
I don't even know.
Ayahuasca, DMT, acid, mushrooms, Molly.
You've done all these. These aren't just ones you're listing. Okay.
Right.
Did you go to Peru for ayahuasca?
No,
or just like Joshua Tree? Just like, I'm a shaman.
I had an Eventbrite. No, I'm kidding. My shaman's dope.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you only done it once?
Twice.
How was it?
The first time was so fucking intense.
Yeah.
And
did you shit? Cry?
No, puke.
Okay.
And cry. Yeah. And it like changed me to my core.
Yeah.
And then the second time, I've been talking about this recently. I had a vision of the world ending, and I felt my pressure in my hand. And then finally, when I looked down, it was my now ex-husband holding my hand. But I thought it was weird in the vision that like he was just staring at me and not smiling or saying anything. And we were both just like, we're looking at this. The world was like just destruction everywhere. And he had seen something similar in his vision. And that's when we decided to get married. Was like,
what? No.
Yeah, we saw the world
You
end.
trauma bonded over ayahuasca.
Literally. And I was like, you were there. And he was like, you were there. And like it just kept telling me like she's helping you, she's guiding you. And it just kept telling me he's grounding you. And then a few months ago, I had a dream about that vision.
Whoa.
And it was just replaying it for me backwards. And it was him. He took my hand and pulled me, and then the world ended. So He was holding me back, and he made my world explode.
That is so heavy.
I know.
Well, I was gonna ask if you thought it was like a metaphor for like how your relationship
Definitely.
ended,
And like I chose to think of it as no. He's protecting me from just the world
the
destruction.
world ended.
But it was my brain was telling me like you're trying to stay safe right now in this because you've been together. At that point, it was like 5 years together.
Yeah.
And my brain was trying to tell me like
You gotta go.
You gotta go. And I didn't listen. And then
This is gonna explode. This is gonna end badly.
a year later we got married, and then 2 years later I know he was cheating for a lot longer than any of us know, because girls have slid in my Instagram DMs and apologized for having affairs with my husband.
Do you feel like it's like you could just all stop doing that now? Like I've had enough.
Nope. I want to know everything.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It helps me plug in the variables in the algorithm that is a failed marriage, so that I can apply that same algorithm and change the variables in the future.
You think that that's possible? You think you can look at a different person in a different relationship and plug things in?
What my behavior?
Your behavior?
Yeah. What caused him to do that?
No, Adrienne, absolutely. Have you said this to your therapist? Nothing you did caused him to do that. That's all on him.
For sure, it was me giving up myself, folding into myself, and becoming someone else's support.
Oh, instead of being true to who you are.
Yeah, and that made me resentful, which made me love him less and touch him less and fuck him less, and therefore he strayed. Of course he strayed.
Yeah, but it's not your responsibility to.
No, and I was crying all the time, not feeling heard, not feeling.
Well, it's like, yeah, he's obviously not reaching out for your needs. If all that's happening and all he can think is like, I need someone to fuck me, it's selfish.
And it's just unfortunate that the person he ended up with is someone that we both knew very well in our lives, and I always suspected. So now I'm like, how long was this?
What a
going on?
bitch.
Yeah, she's a dumb cunt.
I was like, I don't know if you're going to say something like, well, it's, I didn't know if you'd be like, we don't have to say that, but it's like, dude, fuck you. Fuck anyone who like knowingly goes in and hurts somebody.
And fuck
like
someone
that.
else's husband. Fucks him in his car that I just picked out on Auto Trader. Spent 90 days on Auto Trader picking out the perfect car for him. Seats lay back flat. Good feature that he was using to fuck her.
Somebody else.
Get back in bed with me, and then wake up in the morning and make me a smoothie and kiss me on the lips goodbye.
Ew, I hope that car breaks down in the desert and he shits everywhere. And his world ends like in the ayahuasca.
That was the hardest part. Was like the deception and the betrayal.
Yeah.
I almost would rather have him been like, I'm leaving now. I want to go fuck somebody, instead of like, I've been fucking people.
I've been lying to your face.
And just trying to get away with it. It's just the fact that I've had all this FBI training in college and I didn't notice all of this just goes to show how checked out I was.
Well, it's also like our brains, it's like a little bit of the ego, I think, does us a favor of sometimes it chooses to not say things it's in the end not helpful, but it's trying to protect us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Also, just I've been thinking about this more and more lately, and just all the stories I know from women and the situations I've been in. Just on the record for anyone listening, men, if you think that you can fucking get away with cheating and never get caught, if you were dating a woman, you're out of your fucking mind. Mm-hmm. We're smarter than you. Mm-hmm. Like, we will find shit out. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like a sixth sense sometimes. You just like know.
A woman in general, much less a woman who studied forensic linguistics and computer science. Like,
yeah.
What are you doing? I know everything.
Right? And it's like so crazy. Like, this is going to sound crazy probably to people who haven't experienced this, but I'm sure a lot of women know this feeling. I haven't had a ton of men cheat on me, but every time any situation has not been the evidence and then me going down a hole, it's me having the feeling and then being like, I bet I can like, I have the feeling and it's always there. The feeling has never been wrong. That like, yep, there it is.
I'm afraid of that feeling.
Yeah. Because as soon as it comes, you're like, oh, this is the fucking end.
Yeah. And like, I thought,
because how do you go back from that?
I was dating like I married a goofball who was like attractive, but wasn't just like, people weren't like, you know?
Yeah.
And now I'm dating like a hot guy.
Okay. No, you are blinded by love. Let me say that. He's a good looking guy.
He's hot. He's hot.
No.
Okay.
He's, I'm not shitting on him. There are not lines of women waiting to run him down. I promise you.
We went to an event last night and we separated for a minute because it was like business for me. So I was like shaking hands and business cards and shit. And he was just off in the kitchen by himself. And I look over and there's 4 women around him. And that happens a lot.
Yeah, because he is a stable person. And that is a magnet for people.
Hot.
Yeah. Well, he's also, He's a good looking guy, but I don't think he's someone people look across the room and go like, I have to have that one.
I did.
I know. But that's because you guys were meant for each other.
I mean, I saw a picture of him and was like, oh, fuck.
I mean,
this is Zaddy right here.
I also think that he, like, how he is growing and working on himself has made him a person who's like very good at being attentive in conversations, and women eat that shit up. Like especially like LA broken women, they mistake someone just being courteous and attentive as like, is this love?
Yeah.
Where it's like at the end of the conversation, he's going to be like, nice chatting with you, and go back to his beautiful, whatever you're calling yourselves, person.
Lover.
That he loves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I have the same problem with men. I've always made eye contact and I smile and I'm focused, and they think of that
I'm flirting.
Yeah.
I get in trouble.
Nope, not just interested in talking to another human being.
Yeah, you're like, no, I can connect with you without needing to fuck you. Also, not needing anything from you, like, which is a weird thing in LA too. That like, there are people who only connect falsely or for their own needs. I realized this recently. Overhearing a conversation from someone, which, you know, why am I eavesdropping? But who who regularly accuses everyone of using them, and then hearing them talk about how they view like friends, and they're like, well, no one is like actually friends. They all want something from someone. I'm like, oh, you think everyone's using you because you're only using people. That's
sad.
So sad.
I don't use anyone.
Because it was a thing where like this person, I was like, I don't understand why you think people are using you. And then I was like, it was just like eye-opening. But in LA, it's like, boy, will people look you in the face and pretend to give a fuck about what you're doing because you have something cool that they want to be a part of, which is scary.
I can sense it now.
Same.
And I avoid people like that.
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy is that there's some people who are pretty good at hiding it, I think. But the people who are like very blatant, and it's like, you want to make it as an actress and you can't even like hide that you're faking giving a fuck about people. Quit. Yep. Stop.
Yep.
There are certain people in the comedy scene who I can tell that I'm doing well based on how they act when because you know, it's ebbs and flows. Everything's like waves. Sometimes you're like, or the perception is that, you know, you're doing well versus like people aren't really thinking about how well you're doing. And there's people who like, they zoom in on me and I'm like, oh, you think that things are going really well for me and that I can do something for you. That shit's fucking, I can't handle it. That makes me crazy.
Yeah.
This town like drives me insane with that shit.
Yeah, definitely.
It is so hard to keep. Maybe I should smoke more weed.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about cannabis. Okay. So, in your job, are you like advising a lot of people on like, I mean, I've hit you up about this in the past, but like what types of cannabis would be good for whatever they're trying to.
That's more of my personal life. There at the shop, I'm a director of marketing and operations.
Okay.
So I do a lot of tech, a lot of phone calls, a lot of holding people accountable. But a lot of that is like, you know, figuring out how to market certain products. So I need to know what the products do and how they're beneficial. And
so you know who to target.
Talk to vendors and brand reps, and, you know, and I scour their assets that they send over to us to see if we want to share them and if they're viable, and then talk to my designer all the time about the educational stuff that we want to put around the shop for people to, you know, learn more things. So I'm constantly staying on top of it, and we have a team of lawyers who send us, you know, the latest every week,
everything
of what we need to be up on. There's so many rules.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is compliance. And
God, that sounds so fucking hard. People get shut down left and right, I feel like. Yeah. Or raided or whatever.
We're not going to, because we're super, super legal.
Yeah.
But yeah, the illegal shops are being shut down like crazy. And that's a lot of the taxes that we're paying for this weed that we're getting now is going to those task forces to shut down these shops. Because we're trying to eradicate the illicit market, which is making 83% of the profits in the cannabis industry right now.
Oh, so that's like hurting
It's hurting all of us.
Wow.
And like, we all were part of the quote unquote black market, which is now called the illicit market. Like, we were all in the shadows for years. We get it. But like, step into the light. It's going to be bright as fuck for a while.
Yeah.
But then your eyes will adjust. Like,
and then it's like, also I feel like the quicker we can like eradicate that and get everyone on board doing the right things, it's maybe more of that tax money can go to something besides a fucking
roads and schools and
it's like utilize the fact that it's being taxed, because I've thought that for years, that like if they just like federally legalize that, think of all the money they could put toward.
Look at Colorado.
Yeah.
Thriving with a surplus of weed money.
Crushing it.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot to know and to learn constantly. And the biggest thing that I stay on top of is health stuff. So like when VapeGate hit and people were dying from vapes, we had to obviously release, you know, some PR statements and some blog posts, and I had to educate my staff on what to say customer facing on how to deal with
Somebody's
this
asking
issue.
about that.
Yeah. And like I demanded that every product on our shelf be tested for vitamin E acetate, which was the isolated component that they found was killing people.
And that was coming in like cheaper. Is that what it was? That like it was like poorly made, like cheaper products?
It's not poorly made. It's the same like process. It's a cutting agent because concentrates are thick.
Oh,
and
to
dippy.
save money on.
So it's like
Like, what's the logic behind it?
vegetable glycerin and glycine and MCT oil, coconut oil, are the common cutting agents used.
Okay.
And they're more expensive because they come from like plants, and you know they're
organic.
just, and they have regulations attached to them because they're used in food and things like that. Vitamin E acetate, you might have heard of that before. It's used in topicals for, you know, face creams and stuff.
Which you shouldn't be
Which you
ingesting.
shouldn't be ingesting. And then China was just like, well, we can sell this shit to these people. You want to put in your vape? Sure, it's a liquid. It'll go in the vape.
Do whatever you want with it.
So they're illegal market is using this cutting agent in their vapes, and people's lungs are coagulating, their bronchioles are closing up, and they're getting pneumonia, and they're dying from this.
Jesus.
And like the illicit market, they don't have to deal with, a lot of the tax money goes to the testing facilities and the Bureau of Cannabis Control for the certificates of analysis and the manifests and all the testing that keeps us safe, what kind of pesticides and like a lot of weed is grown outdoors, and they spray a little bit of pesticide on it with the legal amount when it goes through that run of testing.
Was that still like sketchy?
It's got to happen. You don't want mites and mite shit on your weed because that'll make you sick too.
Yeah. All right.
So you got to use,
You pick your poison,
there's
basically.
organic ones, and they're more expensive. And then when you have the cannabis tested in flower state, it's fine. When you make concentrates, it's concentrated.
Yeah.
And therefore, it's way above the legal limits on anything. So people are getting sick from myclobutanil, butoxide overdosing, vitamin E acetate. So every vape on our shelves has been tested independently for vitamin E acetate.
Okay.
CannaSafe did that. They were like, we had a machine. We'll test you right now for this shit.
Perfect.
Furthermore, if you walk into a legal shop, you can ask for a certificate of analysis on any product in that shop. And if they cannot provide it, they either are not legal, the product is not legal, or they don't have their shit together.
Wow. Did you have to take anything off your shelf?
Nope.
That's great.
Yep.
Is it like, so when I started like working at restaurants, they would make me like try the food. Do you guys do that to your employees? Smoke this, eat this, see what
Samples?
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legal samples.
Have you tried everything?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite type of weed and why?
I'm old school. I actually love like a volcano.
Oh, like smoking from a...
Yeah, like
those fucking
convection flower vaping.
Okay.
But my favorite kind of smoking is like sit and chill and talk.
Okay.
If I'm like out on the go, a joint. If I have a long night, I'll do like a little bit of a liquid in my drink.
Oh, like the drop?
They have this new company came out that has nanotechnology with distillate, and it's just like pure cannabis, no terpenes or anything in it. It's just THC. 5 milligrams, dump it in your drink. I had it last night.
It was great.
And then I was in a great mood and then had the best sex of my fucking life. So weed and sex, great combo.
Oh, yeah. Wait, and what is that
combo.
called? The stuff that you just had last night?
I forgot the company already. Fuck. They just are launching soon.
Okay.
I'll
hit you up for a future.
You should, yeah. I'll
and it's
send
called, like, what is the type of product called?
It's nano distillate.
Nano distillate. Let me ask you this. On the remark you just made about, like, weed and sex, you ever think that someone you've had sex with, it's great sex, and then you have sex again and you realize you were just really high?
Yeah.
The worst.
But that's not what happens with this guy.
Well, I assume.
In case he's listening. He's not listening. But, like...
Have you ever had sex not high?
Well, yeah, most of the time.
Just checking. Just checking. I was like, wait, what? Maybe you don't know.
When the first guy that I was dating out of my failed marriage drank a lot, and I was trying to drink to keep up with him. So we had a lot of drunk sex. And
drunk sex can be fun if you're not too drunk.
He was great at it. He was great.
Yeah.
And he lived 0.5 away. It was the best.
Very convenient.
We made it 2 months because of that reason alone.
Yeah. The convenience kept us together. It will.
And
My
then
God.
I decided, like, I'm done drinking. I think pretty much forever. I think I've had 2 drinks in the last 3 months.
Yeah. It's not. I don't love it. My boyfriend is a big drinker, and like, I definitely drink. There's no expectation of me to drink. I even had a conversation with about him because I think it's just a thing where in social settings, I just kind of am like, well, everyone else is doing it. There's no peer pressure. And it's so stupid. Like, well, if everyone was jumping off a bridge, if all your friends jumped off a bridge, would you it's like, all of them? Yeah, probably. Like, what am I going to do? Stay here alone? All my friends jumped off a bridge. Yeah. But like, yeah, I had to be like, look, I'm not going to drink as much. I had to do that for me.
I've never been a drinker.
He didn't care, but I was like, oh, in college, I went hard.
I really never did. I mean, I've been drunk a handful of times in my life. My dad's an alcoholic. So I was just like, from a young age, from like 15, I was like, I don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was definitely just a very social part of my college experience. I don't think once in my life I've felt I need a drink to curb how I'm feeling. And the immediate next thought was absolutely fucking not. Yeah. Like, that is not what you do.
I drank a lot when my co-producer of my show killed himself a few years ago.
I mean,
I think I drank every day for a month. And then my ex-husband and my mother-in-law were like, you need to
get your shit together.
Yeah. And
you're like drowning all those feelings. It's overwhelming.
It was a lot. I felt so guilty and just,
what could I have done? I mean, all the fucking grieving emotions.
But ayahuasca helped get me through that. And then I didn't drink anymore after that. And very rarely since. The last 3 dudes that I've dated since my marriage ended were all heavy drinkers. And I asked the universe when I was breaking up with the last one, I was like, please, somebody who doesn't drink ever or like very rarely. And then all of a sudden,
in walks sober guy.
I was like,
sober dude.
I asked the universe for you.
That's so crazy.
And he was like, I asked the universe for you. And I was like, what did you ask for?
I want a hot blonde with good tits who likes that I don't drink.
He basically was like a hot girl who's nice to me and fulfills my needs. And I was like, cool. That's me.
That's amazing. You're like, I can do that.
I can do any of that.
Did you do ayahuasca with someone both times?
Yeah, with my ex.
Do you think you'd ever do it alone?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would you ever do it with the guy you're dating? Do you think he would, or is it like go against his sobriety?
Yeah, no, that's against sobriety.
He's like full sober. He's not LA sober.
He's full sober. And furthermore, like, good mentally.
God bless. Yeah, like, fucking good. He's
like,
got it under control.
The other day I asked him, I was like, you ever feel sad like that you won't ever have like a beer again? And he just looked up at me and said, I've had enough.
That's great. I've had enough.
That's so mature and wise. And like, I was just like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because people are like, are you worried he'll like relapse or,
Do you feel like do you know if he has any other, like, has he shifted a coping mechanism or is he just fucking.
Coping mechanism.
Like, okay, you quit drinking and then you start fucking eating or.
It's been 7 years.
Or, yeah, he's been sober for a long time.
Yeah, he's good. He's very healthy. He meditates, he does yoga, he runs, he fucks, we fuck a lot. We cook, we go out and do fun things. Like, he's very stable and just exactly what I need right now.
Yeah, and he's one of those people who just like is sober. He doesn't have to like, his identity isn't being a sober person. Right. No. Or, I mean, not that it's wrong or right, but there are some people who like, they have to get addicted to maintaining their sobriety almost. You know what I mean?
No, that's not it at all. And like me, I'm a cannabis expert, but like, it's not the first thing out of my mouth all the time.
Yeah. You're not like weed. Oh my God, people's personality is weed. Like, enough.
I know a lot of them. I love them.
No, I mean, they're the most fun to be around, but also like, shut the fuck up.
I can't do it. I don't feel like I have any one thing that's like my brand except for like extreme honesty.
No, it troubles me. I'm the same, that I'm like, I don't know how to tell you who I am because I'm constantly changing, constantly growing. And there's nothing I'm so latched onto that I feel like people would go, that's definitely a part of who you are.
Linguistics. I'm not going to lie.
Linguistics?
It comes up all the time and I talk about it all the time and it's a big part of my podcast and it's a big part of my life.
Interesting. I'm listening to some fucking audiobook about like, trying to whatever fucking personal brand or like figuring out how to market who you are. Well, because I was like, I don't know. Some people really have it nailed down. And I had thought about doing this and I was like, that would be insane. And then the book suggests this, doing like a survey with people that you're like a small group that you're close with or a focus group to figure out how people view you.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I feel like that when you're the company, that's a weird thing to ask.
Sure.
Like to go like, can you guys all fill out the survey? And like, it feels like a weird, and honestly, it's probably a smart business move, but the fear of coming off like narcissistic by being like, can you answer a survey about how I am?
Let's have a get together for all women to survey each other.
That's literally, there was like, it said like switch off with someone. You run their focus group, they'll run yours.
Let's do it in our living room and just like, I have a mic and I have a PA if you want to do that.
Wait, no, we should get like a group of girls. Also, we should just start doing a writing group.
Yes.
But I did Have you ever done Leslie Kahn acting class?
No.
Doesn't matter. You guys, if you're ever in LA, it's a sitcom acting class. People like sometimes recommend it. Who cares? Whatever. But the beginning of the class, they had you go up and people would shout out words based on, or no, the teacher held up headshots. And based on your headshots, people would shout out words like, oh, this girl probably does that. Oh, I bet she's like, they would like cast your brand based on the
Very
headshot
helpful.
and then have you go up, not your picture, and cast based on that so you could see the disparity. I feel like this could actually be a really good idea. Yeah. Okay, we're organizing this.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Okay. That's a story for another time, you guys. You'll notice a shift in our brand eventually. Let me see. I have some questions about...
What a fucking girl I am. I've pretty much just talked about the guy I'm dating so much.
Dude, whatever. I kept asking you about it. I was only going to talk about Cannabis, but I'm like, let's talk about the D word. Divorce. Yeah, being in love makes you like that.
Yeah.
I white knuckle every day to not bring up my boyfriend to people. To not be like, well, Andy did this and Andy did that. And we're going to Disneyland. And it's like, okay, bitch. It's also like I have a tendency to get codependent. So I have to make sure I'm actively taking time to do
Yeah.
like I'm like setting time for friends. And like this is a non-boyfriend activity because I'll get wrapped up.
Same.
And then I get... Once the you start shifting and growing, at a certain point, I'll start to get resentful if I go to all your things and I actually had to set, that's so funny. I had to set a boundary, not even a boundary. I had to say something recently where like at the last minute, he's like, oh, I'm going to grab dinner with my friend so I can't make it to your thing. And I was like, I understand your friend's not from here, but just for the record, I do make a concentrated effort to go when you want me to attend your friend events, and I would appreciate the same respect. And he was like,
Reciprocity.
yeah. And he was like, I totally understand that. And I will definitely be doing that moving forward. And I'm sorry that I'm not being there for you. It was like I was like, oh, this is a mature conversation. It's weird. I don't know about you. Realizing you can be yourself and comfortable with someone, but then like, he would be okay with me being more open than I have yet become okay with being. Like, cause he's like, you have to tell me how you feel. You have to just be open about these things. And I'm like, we don't need to like flood you. Let's take fucking one drop at a time here.
That's it.
I know. Love is crazy. You're like, are you sure? And they're sure. And you're like,
I mean, we do like meetings and stuff together. And then last night he was like, I had a cannabis / microdosing event to go to, which is very weird, in like a penthouse in some random building.
fun.
And I was like, come if you want, but he's sober. So I was like, maybe you don't want to come. And he's like, I'm interested in what you're interested in.
Oh,
So he came, and
I'm
like,
going to people watch.
he was talking to all these beautiful girls, and I was doing business, you know? Yeah. Come by the shop, we'll do whatever, you know, shaking hands and shit. And we coexisted excellently there. And I had never seen him from far away, dealing with strangers, watching him interact with people. And he's an extrovert like me.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, he's fine here. Having someone that you can, and I think this works both ways in my relationship too. Like that because he's a musician, so he has all these events. He has a ton of friends. He grew up here. So people are close by too, but he's also just a social butterfly. And on both ends, I think it's like having someone who like is okay going to a party with you. If you separate, they're not melting down or following you around like a lost puppy dog is, because he does fine with my friends too. It's like, mwah,
But we
cohesive.
asked each other, like, do you need a drink? You need a drink? Like,
Yeah. You
You
good?
want a seltzer? You want some of this fruit? Like, we checked in, you know,
Yeah.
frequently. And it was like just wonderful. Every time I'm out with him or we have a day together, it gets more and more wonderful, which is how
Aw.
it's supposed to be.
Yeah. No, love is supposed to grow.
And this is how I know, like, this is a real thing. Because the first guy that I dated, we fought from like the get-go.
Dude, that's crazy when you don't know, when you're young and you don't realize that that's not love, especially coming from like a fucked up. I thought fighting was like normal. And I think there's some people who still do think that. And also trying to explain that to someone who hasn't had it click yet. Going like, no, actually like disagreements are bound to happen.
Yeah.
And you know, hitting a place where you can realize that also a disagreement doesn't mean you hate me. It means we just disagree.
Or that this is over.
Yeah. That's because that's how I am. That's why I'll hold stuff in. Because like, the minute I say something you don't like, it's going to be like, you'll leave. Which
okay
isn't
with that.
real.
I'm okay with that feeling. Like,
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I'm going to say this. And
Yeah.
I said the pregnancy thing the other night, and I was like, I don't have any autonomy over my body, and I don't fucking like that you said that, and I want kids one day, and someone's going to want them with me. And then he was like, it might be me. I might want them with you. Who knows what the future's going to hold, you know? And it's
That's
because
right,
I was
bitch.
just like, here's my fucking truth.
Yeah. I've gotten a lot comfortable too. And then there's things where like, like there were things I think in the past, like insecure things I would hold on to and be like, well, what if it ends the relationship? And they're flat out been very few things, but I think literally one thing. I'm like, very few. But there was one thing where I was like, look, I'm upset by this. I don't like that you do this. And I would appreciate it if you didn't. And if that is a deal breaker for you, then the deal can be broken. Yeah. Like that is not a thing I will compromise on. And hearing myself say that was like so empowering. Going like, look at you being like, that doesn't make me feel good, and I'm not going to stay in a position where I don't feel good.
Adult woman.
I mean, because it's so, we're all growing, and like, especially like in your 20s, you're a fucking disaster.
Oh my God.
But it's like the things you go like, well, you know, it's probably a harmless, that, you know, that he's had a conversation with his ex or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's probably not a big deal. If I say it, I'm going to seem insecure, then that's upsetting. And it's like, no, fuck you. Mm-hmm. That's upsetting me. And you don't get to you live your life like you think I'm not upset.
Yep.
It's liberating.
Saying the deal breakers is pretty intense. The phone for me is a deal breaker. If you're on your phone all the time,
yeah, pay attention to me.
Can't do it. Because I lived with an influencer whose phone was his biggest, you know, and he would take the phone out and I would stop talking. Or he'd hold the phone up to do like a video and I would stop talking. And like he just never picked up my
didn't even register.
Yeah, he was just like, I was just there. I was just existed to make his life better and to make sure that the house was clean. And
like, get a fucking assistant.
You know? I mean, I did that to myself. I let
of
myself
course.
see that. And I was like, well, he's more successful than me, so I should just, you know, fold myself up and become, you know, his girlfriend.
Oh, that breaks my heart.
Yeah, it was rough. And now that I know that he was looking at his phone a lot of the time, talking to other women,
well, that's even more of an alert.
I was like, God, fuck, how many times did I respectfully close my mouth so that he could sex with someone else?
You're like, do I'm not gonna say anything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now I'm just like, I'm gonna say something. Like, even if it ends up being like I'm overreacting. I mean, I'm right now sitting on a crazy thing. Mm-hmm. It's not even crazy, but I like looked over at my boyfriend's phone the other day and there was like a long message and I was like, is everything okay? I didn't read it. I just saw the big bubble and he was kind of like, I don't even remember the face he was making, but it was like, everything okay? And he's like, yeah. And then he's like, actually, it's like, I have like a really like cool thing coming through. It's a surprise, whatever. But now I'm like, boy, there better be a fucking cool surprise coming down the pipeline within like a week because this conversation's going to come back up.
The surprise is I have a side bitch.
Yeah. I will skin you both alive. Anyway, but I'm mentally healthy, you know? Do you have any advice for anyone going through divorce?
Stay busy.
Fuck.
That's all I can do.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, I used to be this way and then I let myself die a little bit in the relationship. And
it's crazy that we do that.
I'm back to who I was. Like people are like, oh, you're hyperproductive because you're traumatized and you're going through whatever. I'm like, no. If you knew me before him, this is who I am as a person. I like to get up at 6 and do fucking yoga, journal, go crazy, exercise at the gym.
Yes, I'm happier. I'm happier when I'm being super productive.
Be as fuck. Booked by the hour. My iCal is just slammed all the time.
That's the thing I had to learn about myself because I did wrestle with, and I probably do have a little bit of an issue with like workaholism, but it's like, especially in LA or like maybe it's social media where you're inundated, but I get inundated sometimes by these like influencers who have a trust fund and it's like self-care. And it's like, you don't have anything that you need to do. But yeah, they're like not assuming all of my need to be productive is a coping mechanism. Right. That it's like, actually, no, it makes me happy when I'm working. I enjoy doing the work.
It really does make me happy.
Fuck. I love that. A few cannabis questions. We didn't get deep into it, but I feel like questions from listeners. If someone has never partaken in a marijuana session before, marijuana session, I don't know, they've never had weed, whatever. Any recommendations for trying it for the first time?
There's a lot of recommendations. This is like this would be a back and forth conversation if I were doing a consultation, and it would be like, are you comfortable vaporizing? Do you have pain? Do you have anxiety? Do you have sleep problems? Do you want to be social? Are you trying to talk to people while you have this? Like, CBD is always a good one to start with because it gets you, it's a psychoactive, but not psychotropic.
So you don't think CBD is like a big scam?
CBD doesn't do all the things people think it does, especially not isolated. Okay. CBD and THC together are what deliver pain relief.
Okay, good to know.
CBD is anti-inflammatory and an anti-anxiety, like an anxiety. Like
on its own, will it do those things, or does it need the THC? To kick it in.
It will do those things on its own.
Okay.
It's good if you take it edibles or tinctures. It's really good for inflammation and like Crohn's disease and things like that.
Because I think that's what I want to start doing more of.
Topically, it will help with inflammation only.
Okay.
It will not help with pain without THC.
Okay.
Bottom line.
Interesting.
Will not help with nausea without THC.
Interesting. I didn't even know people thought they were taking it for
Will
nausea.
not help with diabetes without THCV. So there's
Now
like
be careful because you're going to get hungry and have snacks.
yes, there's a lot of cannabinoids, and I would start somebody who'd never done it before, maybe with like a Breeze 1-to-1 mint. So that's 5 milligrams THC, 5 milligrams CBD.
Okay.
CBD is an antagonist to THC, so it helps counter it. Like if you ever take too much THC and you're feeling too high, you can have CBD and it'll bring you down a little
Yeah.
bit. It will make you go to sleep, and you're gonna sleep it off. That's basically
fine.
what happens. Or have some sugar or some black pepper.
Orange juice. Is that only true with shrooms or is that true at all? Do you know anything
That
about
has
that?
sugar, so that will help you. Yes.
Sugar. Okay. Because that's
sugar in general.
what people always tell me with
And
orange
black
juice. You need to
pepper
come down.
is beta-carotein, is an antagonist as well, and it it activates your CB1 receptor, your CB2 receptor, so
Like absorbs it.
it like wakes it up so that it can counter the THC. So a Breeze Mint 1-to-1 would be my ideal suggestion, unless you wanted to try like a CBD vape, maybe like a 4-to-1,
Okay.
and that ratio is 4 CBD to
1
1
THC.
So you have a little bit of the benefits, but you feel relaxed and good, and then you get used to the inhalation and what that's like. I'm a huge tincture fan. I take a CBD tincture at night.
What is a
30
tincture?
It's a bottle of liquid with
Like
a
the
little
droplets?
dropper.
Okay, I have that, but I
Yeah.
didn't know what
Those
to
are great.
call it.
And it goes through the soft tissue in your mouth, which is called the buccal.
Yeah.
So it's faster than edibles, not quite as long lasting.
Okay.
And then a little bit better for you because vaporizing is you're still inhaling,
Okay. And then, so if I had like a 1-to-1, because I'm pretty sure I do have like a 1-to-1 CBD to THC, is that going to get me fucking high?
A little bit.
Okay. So just be careful. With
Just take a
those,
little
do you
bit.
just do like a drop into a tea, or do you just do a drop under the tongue?
Under the tongue. If you wanted to do it in a tea, you'll need some kind of fat or lipid in there, like
Okay.
milk,
Coconut
cream, coconut,
oil
something
or
like that. It
something?
needs to
Okay.
bond to it in order to decarboxylate properly inside of you.
Okay. Have you ever gotten so high that you thought, this is it, I'm never going to come down from this? And then you do, and then you just do it again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I dabbed once at the end of a cannabis cup, and I'm usually pretty good about being like, no, I need smaller. But I was really pressured because like Tommy Chong was there and like people were watching.
Yeah, this
and
is the
stuff.
big leagues.
And like this guy gave me like a really big dab.
And you're like, I want people to know that like I'm a
here
professional.
we go. Like I could do the dab, I could do the inhalation and stuff. And then I barely made it to the car. My ex was like guiding me, walking back.
Is
to the
dabbing
car.
like freebasing for weed?
Essentially, yeah. Yeah, you need like a really hot nail, titanium, quartz, crystal.
That's where I draw the line out of like, when it looks like I have a problem, if the device I have to use is like, you look like a junkie, I'm done.
I mean, there's a lot more fancy devices now.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of them. And furthermore, cannabis concentrates these days, when they're legal, are clean. They've had like everything ripped out of them, the fats and lipids isolated, the terpenes taken out and then reintroduced. Clean. Like it's really distillate is THC, pure THC is just clear. So they add in terpenes for color and for like the effects that you feel.
Wow.
So I'm a big fan of concentrates. So I just do them if you want to do them. I have asthma, so flower smoking is really hard for me.
I probably should do less of it. I definitely have lung
And
situation.
if you're going to do flower, you're going to want stuff with pinene. It's a bronchodilator. It opens your lungs up, that kind of thing. Like super lemon haze, anything that smells like a
fruity
pine forest.
Like it's been cleaned with sprayed with like a cleaning agent.
Yeah, like a pine. If it smells like a pine cone, it's going to help your
like
asthma.
Pineapple Express.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
Any favorite Stony moments from the last year or so? Any
Stony moments?
fun?
A lot. There's been a lot. You know what? This is Halloween. I wore a midsummer costume,
Fucking fun.
white dress, flower crown, and the guy I was dating had a bear costume on.
Hilarious.
We went to 4 parties dressed like that.
Wow.
Except the last one, he changed his outfit to some kind of lighthouse outfit. It was weird. Robert Pattinson. He shaved a mustache. It was hot, whatever. It was hot. And
Mustaches.
I hadn't smoked weed in front of him. This is like month 3 out of my marriage.
Oh shit.
And I've been dating this guy for 2 of those months.
Oh, you
basically.
dove right back in. You're
Right
like,
back
we're not
in.
wasting time here.
No time wasting. And we were vibing that night hard. And I had smoked I don't know, some kind of hybrid, and I was really high, and we had like so much fun giggling, and just he was laughing at everything I was saying, and we had a great time. And then I went home and had like amazing sex.
High Halloween sex.
Oh, it was the best.
Was he in the bear costume?
One of the times he was.
That's so funny.
But that night he was dressed as Robert Pattinson's
which
character.
is great.
Yeah.
That's obviously great.
But like I left the dress on, and we just.
Honestly, clothed sex like that is some of my favorite, where it's like rushed and just like.
You can't even control yourself, you know?
Yeah.
So it was really I love high sex.
Yes. I need to have some of that very soon, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what it means, but in case for the maybe like completely out of touch, not aware of anything weed listener, when you say hybrid, what do you mean?
Okay, this is annoying. The preferred nomenclature for the categories of how weed will make you feel.
Okay.
Indica sativa hybrid.
Yep.
The industry is moving away from that.
Really?
It's going to be based on terpene profiles. Terpenes are the aromatic compounds that you smell that are present in other plants. So like lavender is a plant that has linalool. Linalool relaxes you. Indicas have linalool in them because they're relaxing. Beer hops, myrcene. It's the same thing that's in heavy indica strains. So it's classified as an indica if it's got 50% myrcene or more.
Okay.
Body high. Sativa if it's 50% limonene or more, which smells like citrus.
Okay.
And a hybrid is
those are uppers.
70-30, 60-40, 80-20 splits.
And in theory, like what are those doing? What is a hybrid? Because if you're taking indica to get
hybrids.
Relaxed, everything's a hybrid.
Everything's a hybrid. So what you're going to want to look at with batch testing on the back, if you're looking at a legal product, it's got batch testing, it's got its terpene profile there.
Okay.
You're going to want to look at the terpenes present and get to know your body, your endocannabinoid system, and what kind of terpenes you react to.
Okay.
Do you like myrcene for your body high? Do you like limonene? Pinene obviously is my jam for my asthma.
Yeah.
Beta carotene is a helps you with focus. Linalool is for relaxation.
I was going to say with sativas, I find that those can be somewhat helpful for
follow your nose.
Focus and getting.
If you like the smell of it and you like how it made you
nose
feel,
blind.
Use your nose, or ask to see the terpene profile, or ask your bud tender for the terpene profile. Like literally, the industry is moving away. Candescent is a good company that's reflecting of that. Their strains are called Charge, Cruise, Calm. Connect.
They're
like, how do you want to feel?
They're very clear on what it's going to do.
And
they're
the strains
not like,
change.
This is purple haze. And you're like, what does that mean?
It charges sometimes Jack Herrera. It's sometimes Pineapple Express. It's sometimes Super Lemon Haze. It doesn't matter what the strain is.
It's just a type
They're
of.
telling you this category
is going to make you feel energized.
Yes.
Bud tender. That's like a sommelier for weed.
Sure.
Are there people like that? That like there's notes of this in there and like that's their job?
Connoisseur. Yeah.
I've never gone and purchased from a like weed store. I have no idea.
You know what you should do? Everyone should try this at some point. The herbal chef. He's one of my best friends. He cooks with cannabis, and he makes sure that the whole meal is 10 milligrams. So every dish has like 1 or 2 milligrams. So you're not like stupid high.
So then at the end, you just have to like calm.
And he pairs it with some alcohol sometimes if you want to be a little crossfaded. And then if you're too high, he always has a CBD drink for you to come down a little bit. And he does essential oils that are the strains that will help you eat the food. Like there's a Jack Herrera dry ice with oil, and it like spreads over the table and you smell like it's Jack Herrera. So he always has a sommelier there, his best friend who does wine, who also does cannabis. So he's like, I'm pairing this wine with cannabis because da-da-da. So those are like really unique experiences, and I highly suggest anyone go try. If there's, cannabis infused meals in your area, go do it. The Herbal Chef is obviously the best one, but
I will be looking that up immediately. And before we wrap, do you have a favorite strain of weed?
I like Northern Lights a lot.
Those are my people.
It's chill. It's giggly, and I'm half Viking, and I love the Northern Lights. So it just like has always been very fitting. I've really connected with it. Second would be White Widow because I got arrested with that strain. And then
I was like, and that's how I see myself in a few years.
I like a White Widow. And then the next time I smoked it, I wrote a really great tweet that got me kind of Twitter famous. So that's good with that strain. Yeah.
Fuck, I want to smoke some of that.
Northern
and just
Lights
write.
And White Widow. I'm a White Widow from the Northern Lights. Yeah.
Are either of those like, do you smoke White Widow when you sit down to write? Ideally?
These days, I'm not smoking because of the panic attacks from the stress of the divorce.
Fuck.
But if I'm sitting down to write on cannabis, it's typically like a hybrid, indica hybrid these days. I'm
hybrid,
leaning more
very
toward
chill.
The indica, yeah.
Amazing.
Chill.
I mean, I know that feeling. Completely unrelated, but just because somebody asked as a bonus question. Fuck, marry, kill, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, or Sammy Davis Jr.
Frank Sinatra has the blue eyes, right? Dean Martin, what's he look like?
Frank Sinatra with brown eyes, probably. I have no idea.
Brown eyes.
And Sammy Davis Jr., black. He's a black man.
Well, I can't kill him, so I probably, and I don't want to say fuck because that's stereotypical, so I'd probably marry him.
Look at you, so progressive.
I would kill Frank Sinatra because he sounds a lot Aryan.
Yeah, and I think he beat his wife. I think he used to beat his
I think
wife.
I heard that too.
Although I don't know if Dean Martin was
So
any
that's
better.
marry, fuck. No, that's, marry, fuck. So marry, kill, and I would fuck
Dean Martin.
Dean Martin. I love brown eyes. Brown eyes are my fucking weakness.
Brown-eyed girl. All right. Well, where can people find you?
At Cradrienne everywhere. CRAYDRIENNE.
Amazing. I guess that's it. This has been really fucking cool. Thanks for joining me for this. Yay. Bye, idiots. Well, there you go. Adrienne Airhart and Cannabis, divorce, scandal, falling in love all over again. If you like Adrienne, go follow her. And if you like the podcast, make sure you've hit that subscribe button and give me that rate and that review on iTunes. I need it. I need it. Share this podcast with your friends because everyone's a little bit ignorant sometimes. And big thank you to John, Greg, Jean, Kathy, and Terry, exclusive members of the League of Extraordinary Idiots on Patreon. I couldn't do this without you, and I am very grateful. If you want to become part of that, head on over to patreon.com/ignoranceisblessed. You'll get a shout out here, and you'll get cool stuff, bonus content, all the things, all great things. There's a plane coming, and I am refusing to stop recording because I'm a fucking idiot. Follow at Ignorance is Blessed on Instagram to see faces behind these interviews. And please keep in mind that no guest is or claims to be a representative for every person who has a similar identity. They're just one person sharing their own experience and ideas to help us get a peek at how things look from their situated position in the world. If you have additional questions for Adrienne or about any guest, or you have a topic you want covered, let me know about it. Head over to the Facebook group, Ignorance is #BlessedIdiots. Put your suggestions in there. I am always doing my best to deliver the things you ask for. And this year's been fun so far, and I'm having fun trying to stay on top of these episodes, y'all. Hit me on that Patreon. Put money where my mouth is, and force me to keep committed to this. I'm having a good time. I hope you guys have been enjoying the Monday drop. Let me know also how you're feeling about Monday being our day. I feel like that's where we've landed, and I'm fine with it, but I don't know. How do you feel? I thought maybe this is a good way to lift the Monday blues on your drive into work, but you tell me. Let's get some conversations going. All right. Well, I guess that's it. I need to have some water. I'm still hungover. Keep sending suggestions. Keep asking questions. The more we ask, the more we learn, the more we know. And the more we know, the more we can look down on others who aren't as smart as we are. And isn't that the point? Thank you for listening, and thank you for being patient with my ignorance. See you soon, idiots!